Like when I was in the gym, you hop on the treadmill for like 20 minutes at the start or the end of your workout, or do something a bit lazy. And then COVID. So I suppose that's a lot of people's story, right? I I actually took up running because I was like, if I don't take up running, either I'm going to kill my parents or they're going to kill me. So we need to have time that we're all away from each other throughout those COVID months. So honestly, lads, I hadn't really like done kilometers, didn't really know how fast I was, didn't know how long I'd be able to run for. And I kind of just built it up slowly. I just remember everyone was doing that like 5K with the hand, that real cringe 5K, and everyone was pretending that they were like Usain Bolt and could run.
Like
This
me and
time.
Sean.
Exactly. Pausing the watch, and then people started to realize that, oh, their heart rate has gone down. But I remember I did my first 3K like around UCD, my first 5K, and building that up really slowly. And I remember thinking, like, who are these lunatics that run a marathon? I don't even know if I knew the distance of a marathon, genuinely. Hands up, I don't think I did. I was like, these people who run 10Ks like 3 or 4 times a week. And then anyway, I continued to kind of build it up and up, and I got to about like 16, 17. Like every time I went to another further distance, I was like, okay, that's it, I'm capping it. And then I was like, oh, I'm quite close to a half marathon now, so I'll just go for half marathon. So I did my first half marathon in COVID. Now I didn't have the right shoes. I didn't have the right gear. I don't think I fueled. I don't think I stretched. So I made it to the end of a half marathon, and I had partially tore my Achilles ligament. I also can't say that word, and even when people correct me, I still can't say it.
You and Sean are going to be best friends. With this intro and your pronunciation, this is brilliant. And
So that's it.
how was that? Like, did this happen early on in the race? Did you feel the niggle coming, or what happened?
No, so it actually wasn't even a race. I just went and did it myself. So no, I hadn't felt anything, but like, I mean, I hadn't been doing any proper stretching. As I say, I was wearing runners that had been in my wardrobe probably for, 3 or 4 years, had absolutely no support. And I felt like towards the end, like a bit of pain. And then when I was finishing up, it was actually really, really sore. And I'm really lucky that my uncle is a sports doctor. So I was able to kind of call him and talk to him about it. And it was only like it was partially injured. So it wasn't like completely ruptured. So it actually wasn't as bad as I had anticipated, despite the pain. Sean, I'm sure you you know the pain.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of went from there. I did my first marathon. I don't know if you guys heard at the time, Bressie was doing that Marathon Mind marathon. Did you follow along with that?
Out in out in
Mullingar.
Mullingar or something, wasn't it? Yeah, yeah, I've heard of that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that because then I got to half and I was like, at the time, it was kind of more, not that it was less about running, it was more about kind of having a goal during COVID. And I suppose his marathon really stuck to me because of like the campaign that he was running alongside it. It was more about like the mental side of running rather than just the physical side and numbers and PBs. And he had people who had really kind of tragic backstories come along with them. So I signed up for that one because that one really spoke to me. And that's when I did my first marathon. And I will stop there because I could go on, I could keep going on, but I'll let you guys interject.
Am I right in saying Bressie brought out a podcast with this marathon as well about people with different journeys doing a
Yeah.
marathon? Sounds
Yeah.
a lot like a podcast I know where two lads and a few friends started a podcast and no one had listened to it, and then Bressie stole our idea. So Bressie, if you're listening, I want €1 million, or you better get on this podcast. Anyway, we've stayed in the game, Bressie. We have stayed in the game. So when you took on that, everyone who takes on a marathon for one reason or another has a reason. What was your reason other than going distance more? More than a half marathon. What drove you to a marathon?
Suppose it was like something I never thought I'd be able to do. It's kind of like what the other people do. Do you know, like what, oh yeah, that athlete can do, or that person who you work with who is just an absolute machine, runs 20, 30K before work. And I guess like when I got to the half, I was like, could I do a full? Like I'm not dying here. I got over the line. I'm enjoying the running.